Welcome to this look at a new mod map to console on Farming Simulator 19 with me, MrSealyp. This is MERLOT version 2. This is by RitchiF and it will use 155.93 megabytes. Now it does say on the ModHub website that this has been rebuilt to make it available for consoles as well. There have been a few changes to it. Thank you for the extra information, Big Daddy, who hit me up. This came out a while ago apparently on PC, so it's been quite a while since this new version's come out and a few things have changed, so thank you for the info. We'll just crack straight on, I guess. The map isn't particularly big. It reminds me a little bit of the golden days of farming. It's that sort of scale, and having the little island down the bottom as well. First thing I thought was, oh yeah, it's got that kind of feel to it. This is a very nice map. RitchiF makes good quality stuff. Contracts are available. There are some mods on this as well that have been modded by RitchiF. What do we start with on New Farmer? Well, we start with the main farm here. We have got a cow barn, we've got pigs, we've got a cow pasture. We also have horses and sheep up the top of the map. So we start with all that, plus field 6 and field 8, which is all very nice. Biogas plant, you have to buy 182,120. On the subject of the biogas plant, that is a required mod for download. That is the small BGA by Landmensch. I will put that in the description as well. Again, it's not a link, but it is what it is. If you try and look for it, if you go into the mod hub and just search up Landmensch, it will come up, and it's a small biogas plant or small BGA you will need. We'll get to that later on. Field prices, as you might expect for a fairly small map, aren't too bad. I mean, 352 grand's, not a small amount of money, but we do have some much smaller fields, smaller plots down sort of 30, 40, 50,000, and then we gradually kind of work our way up. Got quite a few grass plots knocking around as well, and a few sell points to look at, which we're going to do now. So if we just head to the sort of main road, that's north. South takes you straight down across the bridge and onto the island, which is where the store is. We'll get to that in a little while as well. The main farm is here. We have a workshop just to our right as we come into the yard. We've got barn space with our vehicles and machinery in. We'll have a look at the machinery and stuff in a moment as well. More barn space and our equipment scattered around the yard. Nice big open yard as well. Drive-through shelter, I like those. And the detail and texturing on here is amazing. Now for a fairly small map, we have already used 561 out of 1299 slots on New Farmer on console. That said, if you come on Farm Manager or start from scratch, that drops down to 368. But you don't start with any of the machinery, and you don't start with any of the animal pens, and I don't think you have the workshop trigger either. So this area is all clear, there's no buildings and things, and you don't have any vehicles. Some of the barns are still here in the shelter, but the larger buildings aren't. So as we move into the yard, heading west, we've got our bunker silo just here, and then we've got our cow barn. Now the cow barn, like I say, this is a modded one, part of it. Milk trigger is just here. Our livestock animal dialogue box is just here, so for loading, unloading or buying and selling directly is just here. This will hold 200 cows. So the livestock trigger is just there. Well, we've got our feed and water trigger inside on this side, and the other barn door does open that end. And then we've got our straw bedding trigger is just over here. This is one of those maps. We're getting quite a lot of really good maps of late. Slurry Point is just there. Really nice quality, have a really nice feel to them. We're going to grab a tractor and head up through the yards to look at the pig pen and the sheep and everything as we move further forward. But as we come round the side of the yard here, we have our silo. I think that's a 200,000 litre silo, is it? 500,000 litre silo. Wow, okay. And we do start with some crops in there. We also have our sleep through the night house trigger, which is just here. I'm not tired at the moment. Now, on all 3 modes, new farmer, farm manager and start from scratch, that is always there. That is not movable or removable. And in all honesty, it's a fairly small map. I'm not sure you would necessarily want to or need to move the sleep trigger. Even if you set up your start farm somewhere else, if you wanted to get back to here to sleep through the night wouldn't take too long anyway. Chickens are just over here. What I'll do now is we'll whiz round, or whiz through if I can get through the gap. Yep. We'll grab the... There's a New Holland somewhere, isn't there? Where's that? Is that in here? Oh, would be the other one. Oh, not a New Holland voucher, what am I talking about? Too many map tours, I'm getting confused. Right, so while we jump into the vehicle, we might as well have a look at what we start with. So as I said, 561 slots out of 1299 on New Farmer. We start with a Valtra N Series, an Armour Track 1104, New Holland TX32 SEK802 trailer, header for the TX, plough, cultivator, seeder. We've got a rear mounted mower, tedder, windrower, loading wagon, header trailer, weight, and then, like I said, we have got these mods. So the cow shed we've just looked at, we're going to get to the pigs, the sheep, and the horse paddock. Chicken coop we've just seen as well. The chicken coop will hold 30, horse paddock will hold 4, the sheep 50, the pig enclosure 60, and like I say, the cow shed is 200. The pasture will hold 50, so you can move cows in, so if you want to. This is seasons ready as well. We'll have a look at the mods in a little while too. So what I'm going to do is carry on heading west. We'll take this little track up. I love the topography. I love the undulations on this map. It's got a real, like I say, a lovely feel to it. Colour palette's really nice. Oh, on the subject of colour palette, before I forget, I need to pick a point I can use. We have got under landscaping textures, there's a few kind of regular ones that we're kind of used to. For example, the gravel one. We've got a few sort of sand rock textures. Let's get a space there. Those kind of things. But if we go this way, we have got a foliage one on this to add some foliage. Obviously, the bigger you go, the larger the clumps of foliage you can have. And then the grass ones, we've got one that's sort of scattered, slightly more spotty grass. And then we've got that one there, which is a bit more thicker mat of grass. So the foliage one is a kind of addition. We don't always get that on maps, but some maps we do, so that's a nice one to have on there. I'll leave that in the middle of the pig yard. But so, pig pen, as we've seen, holds 60. Our trigger for buying, selling, loading or unloading is just here for the pigs, for example. As we come in a little bit further, this trigger in here is for bedding, for your straw. The pigs should be, I think I just bought 2, didn't I? There we go, pigs are there. The water trough is there, but you access it round here. So your water goes in here, it goes through pipes and into the trough. Slurry point is just there. Manure, I'm not sure about actually. I don't know if that just appears here next to the side of the building, maybe. That does seem like a nice sort of open concrete area for that to be the case. And our feed trigger, let me just close that, is just around the side here for the pigs. There are a couple of forested areas, but a few bits of woodland again dotted around the map. There is a sawmill, which we'll get to later on as well. And this is something else I love. Look at that, the cobbled roads. Very nicely done. It's another one of those ones, like the colour palette works well. There's enough with like the flowers and things. It's not too much, it's not over the top, it's just enough to make it work and it look nice, and you know, So this is the cow pasture. Just here. Buy, sell, load or unload for 50 is just there. That's where you collect your milk from. So this is kind of the trigger for both. One for your milk and one for the animals. Then you've got your water trough there and feed trough just here. So if you want to bring them out to pasture, you absolutely can. So we have come from the main farmyard, just here. We've come along to the pigs, up to the pasture. We're just going to go to the grain mill, and we're going to come back out along the lane and head up further northwest. You know what? I just opened up the. You know when you look at your watch, and then 2 minutes later you think, what was the time? And you've just literally just looked at it. Grain mill. I was going to say grain store. That's the grain mill sell point. I just looked at it, then my mind went completely blank. It won't take long to get around everything because the size of it, and like I say, that feeling of the golden days of farming, I think because of the size of it, I don't know, you know, it's one of those maps, small machinery, you can just really get back into the sort of enjoyment of the day-to-day, the getting things done. Not that you can't do that on all maps, but you know what I mean. So one of the forests is just to the left here. Can cut through there if we want to, but we want to take in the horses and the sheep. I do like the bumpiness of the road, the track, or not the roads, the tracks. It's not too much that and sort of sharp that you're bouncing over the place. But there's enough there to give you that nice feeling of, you know, it's not a main road, it is a track. The barns and buildings are all, they look absolutely brilliant. Is that one open? No. Thought I'd better check. Oh, should have driven a little bit further up, shouldn't I? So, horses are just here. This will hold 4. We'll get our feed trigger here, water trigger here. I think the bedding, unless that's the bedding one, because when we come through here, it's difficult to tell because sometimes you have the triggers, because you've got this one here as well. So I'm assuming, unless this is for bedding as well. Let's just have a quick check. I don't think I have as pigs. Right, what we'll do, let's get a horse. Water, straw, oats and hay. Yeah, I'm not too sure about that one. We do seem to have a double trigger again here. There's one on the outside and one on the inside. So I'm assuming this is where your bedding's going to go. On this one here, that kind of makes more sense. That's going to be for your feed. You put it in there and it will go into the trough on the inside. And the water trough is around the outside. Just there. Then we have our sheep. Wool pallet is just there. That's the trigger for that. Feed is there. Water trough is just through around the other side. And our buy, sell, load or unload point is just there. It's very nice. Just looking out. So is that a church or something in the distance? Just, yeah. Really, really nice landscape. Right, let's grab the voucher. Got 2 sell points a bit further up this road here. I think it's, is it Weberai? Or maybe Weberai. Is weaving mill. So that's your spinnery. Just there on the left. There you go. And then Agri is one of your main sell points, which is just past it. Which is this one, just there. Head back down the road and head more northeast. can't stop smiling. So this is a really nice map, this. It's features like that, like broken bits of wall, and I don't know, it just adds another element, you know. Rather larger building here. We have got the cars go through here as well. That's interesting. Off the main road and through. We've got a line point just there. And this one is, we've come along there and up the top, Agroma, there we go. We're at Agroma, and like I said, we're already across almost on the eastern side of the map already. We're going to start heading south. Down towards the sawmill, and then we've got Port Southeast, Schöner, I think it is. That is the barn, sell point, animal dealer. Then we've got sawmill, store, and biogas plant to have a look at too. It's just nice driving around a map like this, isn't it? Small maps may not be your thing, but for a small map, unlike a lot of the kind of British maps we get. It's not, you haven't got loads of hedges, there's not lots of fences in the way, it is fairly open. You could plough bits together if you want to, or if it's just a moving of machinery, you know. A lot of people don't like that tight enclosed feeling you get with a lot of the kind of English maps and those kind of things, but this doesn't have that feel to it at all. It feels very light and open and airy. This is an interesting one. Just little kind of tourist hotspots. Got a little kind of sunken lake, I guess. Well, it was an old quarry or something like that. Looks like an old mine or quarry, but nice little details. Continuing on. To the next little forested area. Chuck a left here, I think. Down to the sawmill. It's got a lumber point there, wood chip point just past it. Now we're in the southeast part of the map. With our livestock market just to the left there. So if you want to come and collect your animals yourself, you absolutely can. The Schöner sell point, which is the barn, tucked up around the back just here. And we've got our Port Southeast sell point round the back of the building. Now I haven't tested this out. I know, was it on FS19? I'm trying to think what map it was. We have actually got like a little tanker, a little transport ship just here with a couple of pipes, and I was curious whether or not when you put something into the sell point whether stuff would come out of there. Maybe that's too much to hope for, but so yeah, we've got a ship here. The sell point's there for Port Southeast. Head back to the centre. I think this brings us out pretty much opposite the farm, and then we'll just turn left and head south, I think, if I remember correctly. There we go. over the bridge onto the little island. And we have our store. So our repair, customise, sell point just here. Our buy point, if you don't want to do it for your main menu, you can do it from here. We've got a little yard round the back as well. Now, unlike a lot of maps recently, the reset point, should you have an issue, is not here. The reset point is actually at the main farm, just in front of the sleep trigger for the farmhouse. So if you have any issues, you need to reset something, the reset point is there. Back at the farm, not here at the store. And then on to the biogas plant. Take a left. Now it's a small map, so it's a small biogas plant. I mean, it's not. You're not going to be. Well, I say you're not going to be putting millions of litres of stuff through there. I wouldn't have thought you were going to put millions of litres of stuff through here. You got a little double silo there. Now, when you come onto this on new farmer, on farm manager and start from scratch, and the slot count is down at 368, I think the only thing you start with on both of those is this double silo, because it's here at the biogas plant. I'm pretty sure that's it, because the main farm is a single. So there's your biogas plant, and that's the required mod. Small BGA by Landmensch. Now this will only do 10,000 litres maximum, so it will go up to 10,000 litres and then start chugging away. So this is not a 50,000, 100,000, it's only a 10,000 litre one. It will process at 3 litres per second, and it will take potato and sugar beet as well as regular crop types that you would normally expect to put through a biogas plant. The digestate is, oh, that's here, isn't it? So you're because it's a small one. I'm thinking, where's the tank? It's here, isn't it? So that's where you're going to put your stuff into the digester, and then your slurry point, or your digestate point, your byproduct, comes out of there. And that is pretty much it. That's MERLOT version 2. Just thinking, we've been around the whole thing, haven't we? Thought I'd better double check. We'll take a little turn in just after here. We'll be pretty much back at the farm, I think. Is it there? No, next one. There we go. That's the farm just there. So there you go. MERLOT V2 by RitchiF. It's a very nice map, this one. Very nice indeed. I hope you found this useful and informative in some way, shape or form. If you have, give us a like. If you don't subscribe yet, please do. If you want to leave a comment, feel free. And if you want to share this video, then please be my guest. Whatever you should choose to do. Thanks for watching.